Good day, TheSuffolkRam.
I'm Zabermoul.
Welcome to episode 234 of the Brand Nerds podcast. The new year. First podcast is the new year.
Woohoo!
Oh. Did you have a good New Year's, Zaber?
Yeah, that was. I remember alcohol and fireworks. I think that categorizes my New Year's as perfect.
Yeah. We missed the New Year's. We were so busy watching a TV program. We suddenly looked forward to it was 10 past 12. It's like, oh, happy 2024, everybody.
Oh no!
Yes.
You don't have any. You guys don't have any like rituals you do when you like
We're meant to sing Old Lang Syne, which is a traditional Scottish song, which is a very old. And the thing about Old Lang Syne is, I don't think there's a single person in the UK who actually knows the words, but we know roughly the sort of canter. And so everybody sort of goes, you link arms, so your arms cross, you link hands, and you have to sort of go like, oh, for Christ's da 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 do 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 for the sake of Old Lang Syne. And you do about 3 verses of that, and then you go, hey, and the fireworks begin.
Question.
Yeah.
Why do you do live in England?
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
Why do you sing a Scottish song?
I have no idea. Just everybody does it. I don't know how this happened. Since I was a young child, everybody's done it. I think it is a song that's like about like approaching. I don't know what it's about. I really don't. I did look at the meaning of it once, and I think it's like approaching.
It's
like
one of those things where it's been done so much. It's been done so much that now it's just like rooted in to the foundation of like what you do. You know?
Yeah, it's like most traditions. It's just sort of hardwired in, and no one really knows why we do it, but we do.
Yeah, we have a ritual where we get up on a chair or a couch or anything like that when we hit 12, spot on. We jump off the chair and land, and then yell Happy New Year. Well, I think we yell Happy New Year and then jump. Because then we jump into the new year.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like this. I'm really curious. Are there any like seismographs nearby in Denmark? Do they register everybody jumping off the chairs?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just been Christmas. Everyone's been eating like loads. So yeah, everyone gains like 10 kilos.
I've got visions of Denmark. It's like this on midnight. There's this big rumbling noise, and there's a few of the side less well-built tower blocks fall down.
At this point right now, everyone's blaming the heavy rain for all the floodings around. It's not that. It's just we jump, and we create like this vacuum of water that keeps like flowing in on people's countries. It's Denmark's fault.
Yeah, people think that like all your towers are slowly sinking to the ground. It's not because you all synchronize your jump and you push it down every year slightly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
You had a good New Year's too.
Yeah. We basically drink, pizza. Pizza. We always get a takeaway for New Year's Eve. We decided to have pizza this year.
And that's the normal thing to do for everyone in the UK, or for the majority of people?
No, I think a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people do parties and still have a party and stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of people who actually don't do anything at all. They just literally go to bed and call it a night.
What?
Yeah, there are a lot of people who just like, oh, it's going to be 2024 tomorrow, whether I stay up before or not. So they all go to bed. Fireworks. Over the last 15 years, there's always been fireworks displays, but like people setting them off on New Year's Eve have become a bit of a thing. So trouble is, some people set them off like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, well, it's not New Year's Eve yet. It's not used yet. And some will set them up just before New Year's. Some will set them up just after New Year's. And this year they'll go on to about 12:30. Because New Year's Eve is one, because in the UK, you are only allowed to set fireworks off after 11 o'clock on Guy Fawkes Night and New Year's Eve.
For real?
Yeah. Any other time, there's a cut-off for fireworks. I think it's 11 o'clock. It might even be 10 o'clock, actually. Any other time of the year.
That's okay.
Just
We
because
have
they're loud,
our
aren't they?
rules
So
are our rules in them. I can't remember if it's after the 18th of December and then until the 6th of January we're actually allowed to fire fireworks
oh right,
all day.
so you can only do it that time period. You can't do them all year round.
No, we can't do it all year round. No, no. Well, you can, but you have to like get a permit for it.
Okay, I definitely say
Um,
yeah. So
but our fire like if I had fireworks right now, I was allowed to go out and
oh, interesting. So
do my thing.
it's slightly sort of like, whereas you have like a period of like free for all, we have like we can do it all year round, but with more restrictions.
Yeah.
Because obviously you guys don't have because it's a British thing. You don't have obviously Guy Fawkes Night, which is a British thing. Have you heard of
We
Guy
don't have
Fawkes? Do you know of Guy?
no. No.
So Guy Fawkes was a chap, along with some others, who tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
Okay.
Like in the say
So
1600s.
he was trying to blow up Parliament.
He was trying to blow up Parliament, and they
What the
caught.
fuck?
So they got loads of gunpowder underneath Parliament, and depending on who you speak to, either he was quite high up involved, or he was basically just guarding it, and he didn't do a very good job because they all got caught, and they all got like hung, drawn, and quartered, and some got burnt. So every year, to celebrate us catching Guy Fawkes, people like burn like effigies of him, and that's what the fireworks are, basically sort of like celebrating us catching him, and they call it Guy Fawkes Night or Bonfire Nights of more. They say it's called more Bonfire Night nowadays. But yeah, it's like
How far back in history is this?
1600s.
1600. See, that shit wouldn't happen. That wouldn't fly today, dude. Everyone's played GTA. They know how to do this shit.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. Remind me of 1606 happened. Or 1605. Remind me after podcast about Guy Fawkes. I've got an interesting fact to say about Guy Fawkes, but I can't tell it publicly. So that's going to be a mystery for our listeners. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there gonna be a link in the show notes? No, we can't do that either.
No, I can't do that either.
Oh, juicy.
But I will tell you afterwards, so just remind me.
All right.
You've almost certainly seen a Guy Fawkes mask. Have you seen V for Vendetta?
Yes.
That mask is a Guy Fawkes mask.
That's also what's that hacker group? Anonymous? Yeah, they use that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Guy Fawkes mask. That's what it's meant to represent. Yeah, Guy Fawkes. Yeah. But yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so 1606. He died 1606. But yeah, they were all hung, drawn, and quartered, which is a particularly nasty way to. I don't know if that's a punishment Denmark used to do to people, but
our prison in this town actually, that's now more of a museum, and then they have like concerts and festivals and whatnot up there as well. It's like a direct line of like 4 kilometers that way. That would be the state prison of Horsens in Denmark. They used to decapitate people there.
oh, they didn't used to hang, drawn, quarter people then.
Hang them?
Hung, drawn, and quarter is the punishment.
I don't know what that was. What's the drawn and quarter?
They would hang you to the point that you were almost dead, but you're still like conscious and alive. Then they'd gut you whilst you're still alive. So they cut you open and let your guts come out. That's the drawing part of you. And then the quartering part of you is they tie each of your legs and each of your arms to a separate horse, and they get them to all go off in different directions at once.
But this would happen in a sequence.
Yeah, this is your execution. They'd hang you.
Cool.
Well, not if you're being the one who's being executed, I don't think. But yeah, you die being ripped apart by horses.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. I see. You guys did cool things.
We did do some pretty horrifically. If you don't brutally murder someone, brutally kill someone, then yeah, we did do some cool air quotes cool things.
The only cool things the Danish people or the Vikings had, I think that was the blood eagle.
That's where is that where they used to cut you down the middle and like pull your rib cages apart?
They I think the idea was that you get cut, like your back get cut open, and then they from your backside rip your rib cage out that way.
Oh,
kind of like the Blood Eagle.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to. There'll be links in the
I
show.
think that's the idea.
There'll be links in the show notes for these execution methods that people can enjoy and peruse when we're on our lovely family-friendly game podcast. Yeah. How? Yeah. Luckily, we didn't do quite so many violent things on New Year's Eve these days, so that's sort of like, yeah.
New Year's in Denmark is more like that's a big ass party. Like everyone dresses up in nice clothes. Some even have like big ass gala parties and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing. So basically, that's the one time a year you like, well, with the exception of like weddings and whatnot, but where you actually like put on like some of your nicest clothes.
Oh, cool.
And then have a party. You have a drink. You celebrate with friends and family and whatnot, and then get shit faced.
Yeah, there's plenty of New Year's Eve parties
unless you have small kids to look after.
Yeah. There's plenty of New Year's Eve parties happening in UK. So there's a big event in London. They do a big fireworks display in London itself. And usually they get Big Ben normally strikes in they wait. Everybody sort of like goes quiet when Big Ben strikes midnight.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say. So, what would you say is a bigger event in Denmark? Would you say New Year's is better or bigger than Christmas, or would you say they are sort of
I think
similar?
They're equally huge. Yeah. In different ways, though. I think New Year's can be with family or close friends instead of family, whereas Christmas is more like that's where family come together.
Yeah.
So I think they're equally huge, but in a different way.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Maybe even Christmas is bigger because we then have the extra days afterwards where we like go and again eat food with family and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we've had this talk, you and me, off camera back in December about how we did Christmas and whatnot, how the differences were. Whereas you guys, you unwrap your presents on the 25th in the morning. We do it at night on the 24th. We have like a big dinner on the 24th, unwrap our presents on the 24th. Then on the 25th and the 26th, we call those like so the 25th would be the first Christmas day, and then the 26th would be second Christmas day.
I love what you call second Christmas day. It's wonderful. It's like the sequel to Christmas, the Christmasing.
and the cool thing is we eat the same food, like, or not the same, that would be disgusting, but similar, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So so we then gather with family and stuff like that again for the next couple of days, and then again have food. Sometimes, well, for us, we're normally on the first Christmas day, like the 25th. That's where we go to my girlfriend's family and hang out with them and stuff. And then not so much on the second, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's slightly different over here where Christmas Day is the big day. Christmas Eve, some people like perhaps what you probably if like you have relatives coming down to like stay, they'll probably come down Christmas Eve for the evening. But then the big day is Christmas Day, and then they may say Boxing Day, and either go back Boxing Day or the day after. Or perhaps you'll split. It's like, you'll go around one set of relatives on Christmas Eve and one person on Christmas Day. Or Boxing Day is second Christmas to you.
That's why you would go out and eat like the rest of the food stuff with.
It's usually reheated. It's usually it'd be like. People either do like another roast on Boxing Day, or they'll do they'll have like a sort of like a cold cuts buffet type thing where they'll have like all the leftover stuff on Christmas Day, like the cold turkey and that sort of stuff. They'll do like a buffet type situation.
So is that like the thing, like that's turkey for you guys on Christmas?
Turkey is now the traditional meat of Christmas Day.
Okay.
It used to be for a long time. I think it was goose. I think for a long time. I think it used to be goose. Was it goose? I can't remember now.
Denmark is duck. It's duck on, duck on Christmas.
A lot of people do beef on Christmas Day now as well. My chap I work, so I actually probably work, I work on a farm, and the guy I work for, we as part of that, we sell Christmas hampers. We basically do a big box full of meat for people, very well priced. It's all high quality, really well priced. And for the first time this year, he just does it with a turkey. This year he gave the option either having turkey or beef, and it's roughly 1/3 of beef instead of turkey, which was interesting. So people chose beef instead of turkey. I mean, and the thing is, that's weird about us is that turkey's probably Christmas Day is probably the only day of the year we'll eat turkey. It's literally like most of the people who raise turkeys in the UK, farmers wise, literally raise them for Christmas Day. You basically just don't eat it the rest of the year. There are poultry farms that have chickens all year, then they'll do a batch of turkeys just for Christmas. It's really, really strange.
The thing is, like, turkey is supposed to be really high on both like proteins and low on fat and stuff like that too. Yeah.
Well, chickens. I think it's very similar to chicken. It tastes different, but it's very similar to chicken in that regard. Turkey's bigger.
It's supposed to be lower fat percentage than chicken.
I don't know.
It's supposed to be pretty good for you, from what I remember.
That I honestly don't know. The reason people sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's weird that because we do the same. We don't eat a hell of a lot of turkey here either, which is weird if it's supposed to be that much more healthy to eat. You know.
I think because turkey tends to be a lot bigger bird, so at Christmas it makes sense because you tend to have lots of people around.
Yeah.
I mean, the turkey we got a 5 kilo turkey for our Christmas. We were still eating that about 3 days later. We still had stuff left, and that's not that weird. Like, there was 5 of us on Christmas Day, 4 of us Christmas Eve, and we were giving some of it to the dogs as well, just to try and use it up. But we were still eating that 3 days later.
Hey, it's a meal for everyone, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
For days.
Yeah, it is. But I think that's why turkey is popular, because it's big, so you get a lot bigger. You got a lot more cooking out. You get a lot more out of a turkey than you do a chicken.
Yeah.
So do you guys do like? I mean, a sort of a traditional British meal is the roast dinner, which is your roast turkey, your pigs and blankets, your veg, your Yorkshire puddings, your roast potatoes, your mashed potatoes, your cauliflower and cheese. Is that something you guys do? Do you do like a big roast, or do you have a different name for it? Or
I don't think we call it a roast. We have the duck. We then have then we have something called in Danish flæskesteg. It's basically pig with the what's it called? Like the I don't know, with the fat layer top thing that gets really crispy.
Oh, we call that crackling.
Crackling, yeah. Well, we do that too, and then we also have it's like a long sausage, like rolled like this, but it doesn't. Right. It's not the traditional. I think it's a Danish thing. It's called medisterpølse. But it's really, really good. Like, you ever come to Denmark, like, remind me to make you that. You're gonna love it.
Oh, one day I'll come to Denmark.
Oh, more than welcome, dude. It will be fucking fun. But yeah, we have that. Then we have potatoes, and then we have something called brown potatoes as well.
Okay.
Basically, it's smaller potatoes. Like, you have normal sized potatoes, when you peel them. Then you have like smaller ones. People usually buy them in like glasses with like like a small there's smaller potatoes.
We'd call those new potatoes. If it sounds what it thinks it is, we'd call them new potatoes.
We also have that in the summer, but these are like different. They taste different because they're like watered glasses and whatnot.
Oh, okay, must be different.
We then heat up some. I think it's like butter and sugar on a pan, and then until it becomes like really brown and glazy. Then you put in the potatoes, and then you like keep turning them in those, and then they get this like glazed brownie type thing. We call them brown potatoes.
Oh, Okay.
They are absolutely awesome, dude.
That sounds a bit like what we call caramelization.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's called. Yeah, I didn't know the word for it until you just. But yeah, I know. Yeah. So caramelized.
Caramelization.
That word.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do that to the potatoes. And then we have like we're talking like loads of sauce, like brown sauce. Oh, dude, that's like the holy grail of our Christmas.
So do you do
That's
like
the brown sauce.
gravy or anything like that at all?
Great, yeah, that's gravy. Yeah,
That's gravy, is it? Right. Okay.
yeah. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, because I'm sure. I mean, I assume when you've been over to the UK, you have been indoctrinated into the roast. I'm sure that's happened. You must have tried a roast when you've been to the UK.
Yeah, I must have. Yeah, I'm fairly sure I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get your whatever meat, it varies. Usually stuffing, peas, carrots, roast potatoes, mashed potatoes, cauliflower cheese, maybe. Pigs in blankets, which are like sausages wrapped with bacon.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds like you've had sort of roast.
Yeah.
It can't be a good on a winter's day, like usually in the UK it's traditionally a Sunday. Every Sunday you have a traditional roast.
A roast.
Yeah, you'd have
every Sunday, like
at least during the winter months. In the summer months, some people stopped it. We tend to not do much in the way of roasting in the summer months because I think people tend to switch to barbecues in the summer months. And it's quite a hearty, heavy meal, which in a hot day is probably a bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
But in the winter time, there's nothing quite like sort of having a big roast in the evening and then it's like going and falling asleep on the sofa. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think we have like something that specific. But we do have very specific like Danish meals. Yeah, come Denmark. I'll show you. It's nothing nasty or anything.
I'd love to experience the world of Denmark.
The Danish man foods.
The Danish man foods. Yeah, I might well take you up on that offer.
Cool. That would be fucking awesome.
I bet get our passport sorted out. Thanks, Brit Exit.
Oh yeah, now just like because of Brexit, did everyone need new passports?
I think you now need a pass. I'm not sure. Do you know actually? I'm not being personally travelled a lot. I'm not sure how it worked when it comes to travel. I know you still need a passport, but I think before it was you still need a passport to go because I went to France when it was still part of Europe. And it was like a random check whether they check your passport or not. So like the few times we basically went when I was doing my computer course at college, we had the option to go into Paris for the computer course. And when we went across, both the first year I went across, we never had to show anyone our passports. We didn't have to do anything. The second year on the way back, we were randomly picked to be checked. So I think they just like literally randomly picked and that was from France back to UK. Our coach was randomly picked to be checked. We had to all go in and hand our passports over and get randomly checked. So it wasn't like, but yeah, we went in and out without any passport check at all the first.
When was this? Like when? Like
this is a long time ago. This is going back to 2003, 2004. Yeah. It's a long time ago. Things may well have changed since then. Also, I'm sure I think with Brexit, you have to have passport check regardless now. Yeah. Well, you probably know better than me because you've been to the UK since then. I presume you've had passport checked every single time.
Dude, you get okay, so this is how much your passport gets checked, yeah? When I check in at the airport in Denmark, passport and my boarding pass, yeah? When I then go through security, same procedure. When I have to get to the, I think that's to the gate. I think at that point I only need my boarding pass, but I think I can't remember if that happened all the times, but I also had to show my passport one time at least when I had to get on the flight.
Yeah,
alongside with my boarding pass. This whole procedure repeats when I get off in the UK.
Yeah.
Sorry, not when I have to get off the flight, of course, but before I can get out
of the airport
to where I meet you guys, where you guys have stood, I then have to scan my passport inside this thing. Otherwise, I can't get out. I'm just stuck.
So I'm assuming, like, because you talk about like going to Germany and stuff, you just drive over the border and you're there. There's no checks
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
we have open borders. Yeah.
Yeah.
The borders are open. Not so much the other way around because of a lot of shit that happened. With like immigrants and blah blah blah. So they ended up like closing the borders to Denmark at one point. So they were basically checking everything that was coming through from Germany and other ways in as well. But yeah, so it wasn't so much open the way into Denmark, but out, no problems.
So they have like sort of like checkpoints, do they? Is that how it works? You have like just
Yeah.
like a check, yeah, that you just put
So
in.
every like where you can like cross from Denmark to Germany, they have like set up passport controls both in and out of Denmark and in and out of Germany, where the German passport controls are never manned. Like they don't have anyone there. We can just go in to Germany, but in Denmark, like the other way back, they we have Danish police there
Because
checking.
there must be like whole swathes of, because obviously you're landlocked, so there must be whole, well, not you personally, but you know what I mean. There's lots of landlocked countries around. You must be whole swathes where you can literally just like on foot just walk across and you're there. You know, you don't have to go down a road. You don't
Oh
have
yeah,
like
yeah.
you don't have like
That's
fences between your countries, do you?
no, we don't. So
Cross a
I
field and
think,
you're there.
oh yeah, you probably could, yeah. And there's that's probably a thing that probably happens, you know.
It makes the whole checkpoint seem rather arbitrary when you can just literally walk like a few hundred yards away and cross a field and you're there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Do you have many like sort of like towns that sit on like the border, where it's like half the town is in Denmark, half is in Germany, or do they all
No, I don't
separated?
think that I don't think the towns are like split like in half that way. I think like right as you cross the border to Germany, a lot of those cities that was there, like what's it called? Uh, um, I can't remember the German cities right now, but some of those used to belong to Denmark
Oh,
before
right.
World War One and World War Two. So there are actually citizens down there in these German cities that think of themselves as Danish people. And they also, a lot of them actually speak Danish there. As if you get further down into Germany, people speak German and that's it. Sometimes English, but yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, so a lot of everything's, as in Denmark, everything is high taxed, especially when it comes to sugar, soda, and so on and so forth. So and beer as well. So a lot of people they cross into Germany to buy soda and beer and even candy, because some of the candy you buy down there is fucking half price compared to what it is in Denmark. So if you go down there in a car and you just fill it up, so you have enough for the next 3 to 6 months, you've saved a lot of money.
yeah,
But I think that's going to change. I think they are trying to pass a law that will make us have to pay. So in Denmark, when you buy a soda can, like this one here,
yeah.
well, people that are listening to this podcast, they won't. But I have a soda can. It has this
Yeah.
mark on it that says Pent. And when we buy this, let's say this was like 5 Danish for this can of soda. I would then have to pay another 1 Danish on top of that in what we call pant. So when I then have drunk this soda, I can then return this empty can and get my 1 Danish
Yeah,
back.
yeah, I've heard car countries, because Germany does that as
Yeah.
well, I believe.
I don't know. They don't do with the stuff we buy, but they didn't want to like have that type of thing on there as well, like the pant on these German soda cans as well, so that we can then return them. So we have to pay extra, but then yeah. The problem with these is they're very easy to dispose of,
Yeah,
and they're very annoying to drag over to the store just to get that 1 Danish. I think they should increase the price on it, to be honest, to make people actually do it.
Yeah.
Because when people buy these, they'll just throw them in the trash, dude. It's bad for the environment.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do it because it's more of a hassle getting them back for that small amount of money.
Yeah.
So when we bring like 9 of these, that's one quid, for 9 cans.
Yeah.
Roughly translated, yeah. People can't be fucked. You know?
Yeah, I can see it both ways. I can see people doing that. I see ways of encouraging people to do it. I mean, I would, because I'm a spendthrift when it comes to money. I like to try and save as much money as I can. If I can get 10 of my cans. I mean, dude, the amount of cans I drink, if I get like 10p back on every single one, I'd be so well off.
Yeah.
And I've paid for it initially, but I would love that sort of scheme.
We have, I think, like a bottle, like a half-liter bottle, like these ones right here. I think these are like 1.5 Danish. I might be mistaken, but I think that you get a lot more for these, but you also have to pay more for them, you know, because it's money that you get returned.
It's like a deposit, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we have like the 1.5 liter bottles, like the big ones. They can be 1.5 or 2 liters. Those are 3 Danish when you return one of those, but they take up a lot of space. So when eventually you just have like a big like Santa Claus bag with all your to return all this stuff, and you get like 10 quid out of it. It's
If there are any artists out there, please do a picture of Zaber with a big bag full of drink bottles in it.
It's all beer cans, dude. All beer
cans, yeah.
or well, people that know me well, Pepsi.
Oh yeah, Pepsi. You're a Pepsi man,
please,
are you?
Please
now,
sponsor us.
Have you still got the proper Pepsi, or have you got the Pepsi that switched over to Sweeteners?
No, ours haven't.
Oh, thank
God. It still
tastes
tastes the same. It still tastes the same.
Yeah, ours have all switched over to Sweeteners now. They taste horrible.
I've said this, and Pepsi, I fucking hope you're listening to this. Sweeteners have no place in my soda. Okay,
No.
The day that I love Pepsi more than I love anything else in terms of soda, but the day that they fucking put sweeteners in my shit, I'll switch to your competitor. Okay,
mate, this is why I drink Coca-Cola, because this has got no sweet. This is proper sugar in this. No sweeteners, real actual sugar.
Yeah. When it happens, fucking no, because my sugar, that's the devil I know. All this sweetener shit, I ain't having it. Okay,
it doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste the same.
It doesn't taste the same, no. But it's not. It's. I know what the sugar does for me. All this, like fucking sweetener shit, the aspartame and all that shit. I don't know what like stupid shit that does for my body. So yeah,
I'm not.
Give me my sugar.
Yeah, I don't like the taste of sweeteners. I know people say they taste the same. They don't. I can tell the difference.
No, it does.
I can say.
Have you had a Pepsi Max? Have you had a Pepsi Max?
I can't drink Pepsi Max. I find it too I actually find really gassy. Pepsi Max.
Yeah, that's full of sweeteners. That's all sweeteners. Like the new Pepsis, from what I've heard, it's half sugar, half sweeteners. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like mixing this. Like get a big like glass. Take this one Pepsi I have in my hand. Pour that in. Take a Pepsi Max. Pour the rest of that full one in there. That's the new Pepsi.
Yeah.
Ain't having it.
No.
It tastes like ass.
Yeah, I agree. Over here we've got a fast food chain, KFC, which you don't have KFC, do you? I don't believe.
Oh yeah, we have.
You have KFC. I thought for some reason I thought Luke said you didn't have KFC, but I must have thought something different.
I think we got one after, like right after first time I was over for a visit. Yeah.
KFC now only do diet versions of all the drinks. You can't order any full fat drinks there, so you have to have one with a sweetener if you go to KFC. So I don't go to KFC anymore.
Not in Denmark.
Thank goodness that Denmark's being fucking sensible. I don't have to go to KFC anymore. I can't because I want proper drink. I don't want some fake stuff.
Yeah, that's no. That's ass.
Yeah.
Why would I go? Like, why would I go in? Okay, and all these guys like, oh, the sweetener, it's more healthy for you. No, it's not. It's
Give
not.
me the option.
It's fucking not. Yeah, give me the option. But I'm coming into KFC to get something that's been drenched in fat to get ready. I don't want something that you supposedly think is healthy for me. Fuck that shit. I wouldn't go to KFC if I wanted that.
No, I don't anymore. I used to like KFC, but I don't go there anymore. I used to like
Yeah.
I used to like some of the burgers, but I just like, well, there's no point me going there anymore because it's quite expensive, and I can go to McDonald's and pay less money. Yes, it's probably not, the chicken's not as good, but I can get full fat Coke and I can actually get more for money. So why on earth would I go to KFC? Although I am a fan of Burger King. I do like a Burger King. That is expensive as well. Very expensive.
Actually, they have deals in Denmark. I don't know if you have them there as well, but in Denmark, we have a 2-for-1 deal, okay? So, but it only works with the, what's it called? The Chicken Royale, I think it's called. I don't know. See, and I figured this out as well. You guys, as burgers, even on like McDonald's, they're named different things than they are in Denmark. But we have a long, it's a long, bread with chicken in it and lettuce and some mayo. Boom, bam. We call that chicken royale. Yeah, that one or a what's it called? The other one, the what's that called, dude? The regular burger, the one that they have. I can't remember what it's called. But either that, one of those. Like if you buy 2 burgers or 2 what's it called, meals.
Yeah.
So you get your crisps and you get your chips, whatever they're called, and a soda and your burger. 2 meals for 1 price. You only pay for 1. So that's actually relatively cheap.
Is what we call that. In the retail industry, we call it BOGOF.
BOGOF?
Yeah, BOG, because it's buy one get one free. So the initials are BOGOF. So it's off. So we call it a BOGOF offer.
That's actually cheeky. That's nice. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
There was a. I'll have to link you to the adverts later. There was a company who used to sell windows, in the UK, called Safe Style. They were called, and they had this guy who was like really enthusiastic, and he was dressed. I'm not sure how he's dressed, like some sort of 80s rock star, and he basically advertised buy one get one free, and the adverts were so terrible. Everybody knows him because he used to go and says, "I said you buy one, you get one free. I said you buy one, you get one free." It's the advert. It used to go like this. It was terrible, but absolutely hilarious. And now everybody knows if you go and say, "I said you buy one, you get one free," everybody will get that. I mean, the guy in question, I think, since got done for tax evasion. But yes, but yeah,
he didn't get one for free.
No, he did not. I pay one, I get one free. That's not how it works, my friend.
No.
Oh dear. Yeah, it sounds like Denmark. See, so yeah, if I was to go to McDonald's and buy a burger and say some chicken nuggets, which is my normal McDonald's meal. From McDonald's, that cost me about £12.
Yeah, same as here. I think at McDonald's.
If I go to Burger King, 18.
So
now, I would say
Burger King,
the burger is a lot better at Burger King. I will say Burger King burgers are far better than McDonald's, but Burger King is an occasional treat for me rather than a regular from McDonald's.
We have a chain in Denmark called Carl's Jr. or Carl Jr. or something like that. Do you guys have that chain in the UK?
Not heard of it.
Oh, dude. So what you're saying is like McDonald's is one thing, Burger King is like better burgers. I agree. Then you got Carl Jr. Yeah. So completely different league. It's you pay a little more for your burger, yeah.
Yep.
But you actually get full. You get full and you get full for hours. You like it's not like McDonald's. You eat your burger. You can like feel this thing in your stomach. You don't know what it is. Am I full? 15 minutes later, it's like no, I could do all that over again. You know?
Yeah.
You can't do that on a Carl Jr. dude. It's absolutely amazing.
So
again, come Denmark. I'll show you.
Oh, we'll have to. Well, we haven't got them in the UK yet, but they are apparently looking at launching in the UK.
Oh, you just looked it up?
Just Googled it, yeah. And an article dated from March last year says they're planning to launch in the UK.
Dude.
So, but obviously, they'll launch.
You don't need to go anywhere else, dude. We don't have one in this town. They've been trying to like find perfect spot for it.
Yeah.
They do a lot of like the whole. So there's a like big like you have your Asta, yeah.
Yeah.
We have something similar to that, like a huge chain store called Bilka.
Right.
And usually all the Carl Juniors are connected with those stores.
Yeah.
So they have like their drive-through and all that shit. But ours, the placement of our Bilka is absolutely atrocious. It's huge, but it's smack in the middle of town. There's no way you can make like you can make the drive-through there. It won't be able to happen. Not ever.
No.
So they've looked into other ways of doing it and come up with nothing. So if I need one, if we need to go to Carl Jr., I have to go back to my old hometown, which is like basically a drive from where you live to like Norwich, yeah?
Yeah.
Like a 30-minute drive or something like
Yeah.
that. That's what I'd have to do to get one of those. So I rarely get them, but when I do, oh my god, dude, it's so good. I could eat one right now.
I better get my passport sorted out, and I.
Yeah. Yeah, oh,
Cool.
but you do it, and you do it only for the Carl Junior. If you come Denmark and you try Carl Junior, you'll be like, "Yep, that was all worth it. That was it.
That was worth it.
No, fuck sightseeing. I don't need to see Denmark. I just need Carl Junior.
Take me through all the various, all the various burger joints in Denmark. We'll be fine.
There's a lot of shit of them. Like all of them are ass. Like, but you would be like I said with McDonald's. If you come to McDonald's and you start ordering things and you call them meals, and the names of you guys as burgers, they're gonna be looking at you, be like, and then shaking their head, be like, "What did this guy just order?"
Yes. So
like, unless it's like McNuggets or a hamburger or a cheeseburger or
what
something
about Big
like that.
Mac? They must have big. Surely they have the Big Mac.
A Big Mac they have on a quarter pounder. Yeah, the old school ones.
Yeah.
But we have something called a McChicken.
Oh, we've got McChicken.
No, isn't that called a chicken sandwich?
It's the McChicken sandwich.
Yeah, I tried ordering a McChicken once. I was in the UK. That didn't go well. There was chicken in it, but it wasn't that burger.
Oh, right.
For sure.
Your McChicken is different to our McChicken.
We don't call it meals. We call it menu.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's called a menu because you get like a menu of a burger, fries, and a soda. That's a menu.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Fucked.
I
know.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, shall we just ask it?
We've been on a rant for like 44 minutes about stupid shit or something like that.
Perhaps we should discuss some games then, Saber. Welcome to Rad Nerds. This is what we do.
No, but I mean, it doesn't have to be all about the games, though. Like,
No.
we're nerds about anything, like facts and about stories and about countries, about stuffs.
I can also now exclusively feel Rad Nerds has now got 2 reviews on iTunes. 1 5-star.
2 reviews?
2, yes. 1 5-star, 1 1-star. So average is 3.
I think we have one on Spotify as well. That's a 5-star, I think.
Who did that? Was it you, Mills Gaz?
It was me.
Oh, I immediately reviewed us. Obviously, I immediately reviewed us. It's actually 5 stars because, well, obviously, I'm not stupid. Yeah, we'll get there somehow, maybe. Right, so obviously you unfortunately were ill for our Christmas podcasts. You had the good Rona, so
I got that stupid Rona shit, dude. Fucking, I'm still battling that.
Really?
I still get I can still get a little clogged up every now and then.
Bless you.
And the one side of my nose, I had these like pops in my ears or whatever the fuck it's called. I lost like I'd say about 50% of my hearing, or even more. I think that's not entirely gone yet. How when you hold your nose and you try to blow out air and it goes out through your ears instead. Yeah, I had to do that every day, but 3 minutes after I'd done that, they're all clogged up again.
Bless
it's like,
you.
what the? Yeah. So that's still a thing. But other than that, and as people have probably heard on this podcast, I have the sniffles a little bit. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
I showed your video to my sister. She said, "Oh, my poorly Danish man."
Yeah. Yeah, and that's that's a horrible thing, like being isolated and be like, oh, well, I need human contact. Come, give me hugs, and everyone's like, fuck
Fuck
you,
you,
Danish
you got
man.
COVID.
Yeah, fuck you, Danish man.
Yeah, you're
It's like
contagious.
no one loves me. But yeah, that sucked. So I didn't get to play a lot of games like for that period, and obviously I couldn't join for the game night and for the podcasting, which kind of sucked because I was just getting into that groove, you know.
Yeah.
And the games nights, those are always fun. But I did afterwards get to play a game I've been looking forward to a hell of a lot with my daughter Victoria, and we went through. I believe it's called Like a Dragon: The Man Who Erased His Name, the latest game in that series. Dude, it was so good. It was so good. The story, the game wasn't as long as the other games, like the old Yakuza games. They weren't as long as those. I think even the game before this one, that was called Like a Dragon Ishin, I think that was even a little longer as well than this game was. But it was so good, really, really good. I only
Are
had
these spin-offs to the Yakuza games? I saw. Are they related to the Yakuza games in any way? Because
so
you mentioned them more.
yeah, the Like a Dragon Ishin, the one that was before this one, went back in time, and then they used like the facial, like the models of the characters, and then put them in the game so you'd have something that was recognizable. Even used the same voice actors, but it was back in time before the whole Yakuza thing. Um, and then this one, the newest one, is a continuation after the last Yakuza game. Before, so the last Yakuza game happened, and then the in that series at least, and then they had one that was like years after that, which was the first Like a Dragon game, but it was called Yakuza Like a Dragon, where you play a new character called Ichiban, I think. And this last game here was actually in the same timeline as that game, but where you play a character that supposedly, had faked his death at the end of the Yakuza series. Without spoiling too much, he's back, and you play him. I don't know if there's gonna be more, but oh my god, it was good. The only gripe I had with that game was because normally all the other games that we played them in Japanese. Yeah. So all the dialogue was in Japanese, English subtitles. Only problem is I read really slow. So I used to pause the game to be able to read and then unpause and then next time pause and then continue. Yeah. In this game, they decided that for about 80% of the game, maybe even 90% of the game, when you pause, the subtitle disappear.
Oh no!
That was annoying.
Oh,
That was annoying. There was so much I got lost. Like there was a lot of the small little things I didn't get. When we were halfway through the game, there was a huge update for it, and my daughter, she was like, "Daddy, I heard about this. I think this update adds English dub," and I was like, yeah, that's all fine, dandy and whatnot, but I don't want that. I want to hear the original characters' voice acting on this stuff. But for the last half of the game, I had to do that because I didn't want to lose out on too much of the story. That was the one gripe I had with that game. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but it definitely didn't make sense compared to any other, like all the other games. Even there was like another game, those two games called Judgment and Lost Judgment as well. It's in the same city as like the main Yakuza games, but with other characters. Which, funnily enough, because they didn't continue those because the main voice actor for that game wanted more in pay, so they kind of was like, nah, we're not gonna do this no more. or something like he didn't like. It was something about management and something like that. I can't remember. We read up on it. Yeah, don't really matter. But some of the characters of that game was actually in with the same names and all that was in this new Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name game, which was kind of odd. So I don't know if they were hinting at something happening anyways or whatever, but that was really interesting. Really interesting. Okay. But that only happened throughout some side missions and stuff like that I got to see that. But yeah.
So is could you say about English subtitles and stuff like that? Because I know you speak quite a bit of German as well, don't you?
Oh yeah, I can understand it more than I don't speak it too well. If I'm being put on the spot and I have to say something in German, I'll be like, that won't be a thing. Well, I can, but it'll take me time to get through it. Whereas if someone is speaking German to me, I'll understand about 80% of it and the rest out of context.
Yeah. Can you read it very well, or?
Yeah, some of it, yeah.
Because have you tried to play these games like perhaps German subtitles and see if you get better on with that, maybe?
No, it's just because I read slow in general. Right. Even if I'm reading Danish, I read really slow.
Okay.
I think I have right now. So the other podcast I did, I had glasses on.
Yeah.
I don't today because today I actually have contacts in. I had a period where I didn't use contacts because I got an eye infection. So obviously I couldn't put shit in my eyes. But so for about 3 months or so, I haven't been using my contacts. And I'm now doing again. But I think the thing about my sight, I might have had that as a kid. So I didn't really I couldn't see the whole thing and whatnot. So I might have had issues, in terms of the whole reading thing as a kid. But yeah, so I read slow.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Oh, so is it? So I don't know really much about the Yakuza series. Are they like third-person action adventure games, or are they like?
Yeah, they are.
Are they sort of like GTA style games, or are they more like?
Sorta, yeah, sorta. Just not as open worldy as they are, but you pick up missions and you do stuff. But then you're fixed to a main storyline, and you can then choose whether or not to take side quests and whatnot to get more out of the game. But so the general story about these games are that you start off playing a character called Kiryu, I think he's called Kiryu. I think that's how it's pronounced. And he's like low ranked within the Yakuza, yeah. And he then rises, like he's like really good fighter and he knows his shit. And he then gets involved in like a murder case and all these kind of things as well, I think. And it just all of a sudden he's like on top of the chain, and you kind of follow him because he's one of those guys that has a good heart, but his honor and his drive for the clan that he's part of, which is called the Tojo clan. That's like he just like lives for this. But he has a code of honor as well, and so these kind of things get into play throughout the entire series, and he gets he inspires people, and they he gets really close to other people because of the way he is, and because he has such a good heart, and that's kind of what so they try to be good within this type of stuff and be right about certain things rather than some of the other clans and some of the other families within the Yakuza. They are being dicks and exploiting other people and doing nasty shit to get money. Whereas this main character, he has like this code of honor and he wants to do right and things in a certain way, which also gets him into a lot of trouble with the other families and gets him a lot of enemies within the other families within the same clan that he's in, and also the other clans around. But yeah, it's a great series. If people haven't played these games, there's a lot of story to it, but there's so much fun. Like it's those games are absolutely amazing. So I think there's Yakuza 0 that came out. I can't remember the timeline of when these games came out, but there was Yakuza 0, then there was Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2, Yakuza 3, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I think that's when Like a Dragon came out. And then the two Ishin games. Sorry, the Ishin, Like a Dragon Ishin, and Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Names. That's 10 games, dude. 10 games.
Wow.
10 games. And then you have the Lost Judgment games as well. That's another couple of games. Yeah. Great series. And like the old games, I think that was like, some of them was like 40 hours of gameplay per game. There were long games, but really cool.
Yeah, I've heard. There's a series that I've heard a lot of people talk about.
Yeah,
and be fans of. I've never played one. But it's a game since I've definitely heard a lot of people go on about how good it is and so forth. I feel I might own some. I feel I've like picked some up at some point, like in a Steam sale or a Humble Bundle type thing. But yeah, I can't say I've ever actually played one.
I'd heard about the games too, and I think had it not been for my daughter coming home, be like, "Dad, we need to play this game." It's like, "What game is that?" It's this. It's called Yakuza. It's like, I've heard about that game, or I've seen things and I know things and blah blah. Okay, well, calm down. Let's try the game out. And we were hooked. Like immediately, we were hooked. Both of us.
Yeah,
It's been a good thing for me and my daughter to do together. Just go through it, and then we, it's a single player game, but we then take turns on controlling the game and doing the things. But yeah, it's yeah, great games, really good games. Can highly recommend them.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, we'll put a link in the show notes for the latest one you're playing, and people can check them out. Yeah. I think they do some quite good deals on Steam as well. I think because I think most of them are ported to Steam because I think they weren't PC games for a long time. I think they've now just started porting them over the last few years, which is probably why I've never really played them.
So let me just double check here on because the latest game is actually part of the Game Pass.
Oh, cool.
On the Xbox. I'm gonna just double check here on my PC whether or not it's on PC mode on the it didn't do it. Hang on.
Yeah, because I think they only started getting ported to the PC a few years ago, which is why I never sort of touched them, because I think they were console-only games, and not being a console game, I never really sort of picked them up.
Actually, there might have been a game that I've missed out on. What is this? I'll look into that afterwards. There might be another game that I hadn't known those. I don't think it's on there, no.
Okay.
Let's see if I do like that. Yeah, that's not the man. Nope. Who erased? No, it's not on the PC mode. But if you have an Xbox, it's part of the Game Pass.
Oh, cool. Is it fairly? Is it like sort of recently released, or is it sort of an old one?
No, it was. I think it was released in November. I think.
Oh wow! So straight onto the Game Pass. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the so I'd say the majority of the Yakuza series we played through the Game Pass actually. I think the one that's called Yakuza Like a Dragon, I think we had to pay for that one because that wasn't part of it. I can't remember. Yeah, I think as well with the second, the one before this one called Like a Dragon Ishin. I think we paid for that one too, and then like a month after, because that didn't get put on Game Pass when it got released. It came later on Game Pass, so we'd already bought it. It was like, oh man, we could have saved that money.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. These things happen, don't they? It's like you buy something on Steam and it goes on sale the next day. It's like, oh well.
I know the PC versions of the games, are the older games. They you can usually get them pretty cheap. They're discounted a lot on Steam now and then, but also on other sites like Kinguin and so on and so forth. You can usually find them dirt cheap as well.
Let me have a quick look because I've got Steam open at the moment.
Then I can try on the what's it
Well,
called?
I apparently own two Yakuza games. I own Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami 2.
All right, that's the second. That's the second game then. So we started off playing Zero, and to be honest, you don't play the main character in that one as you play in the other games. In Zero, you play. It's actually more of a like all an origin story of another cool character from that game series. His character is called Goro Majima. An absolutely amazing character. Later on, he gets the like the nickname the Mad Dog or something like
Yeah.
that. He is crazy. He isn't in Zero though, but you kind of get his story until he becomes like a little crazy in the head.
Yeah. Well, Yakuza Like a Dragon on Steam for the base game, not in the sort of like fancy editions, £55.
All right, so the oh, I'm not getting it in pounds. Sorry, I'm not getting it in pounds on Kinguin. Hang on, give me a sec here.
That's what I was.
I can change that currency. No, I have it right here. Just need to find there it is, Britain pounds. So the Yakuza 4 on Kinguin is like £1.71. The whole Yakuza collection, which I believe has 1 through 6 or something like that, is £8.92.
Oh wow!
On Kinguin. So I'm just saying you can save a lot of money by going on there. What the hell was that?
That was me coughing.
Oh, there you go.
I did that weird for the mic.
It just sounded weird on my end.
Oh,
but
sorry.
yeah, they're below. All of the games are basically below like 10 quid per game.
Oh.
Almost on well, with the exception of the newest one. That one's like 30 quid on there. 34% discounted though for that price. But yeah, keep an eye out for them if you're interested. You can probably find a good deal on them somewhere.
Yeah. Perhaps I might check him out. I've got some time.
Like I said, like below 10 quid for the entire main collection. That's cheap. That's very, very, very cheap. And the amount of hours you get out of those games, it's insane, dude. It's insane.
So let's have a look. See, there's a excuse me, I'm going to have a proper little. I've got something stuck in the back of my throat. Bear with me 1 second. I think that's better.
Grab a drink, dude.
I've drunk all my drinks. Let me just see. I'm just drinking the dregs out of a can of cider. Oh, that was the flat one from yesterday. Oh.
Eat the can.
Yeah.
That'll do something for that throat itch.
It'll be fine. I'm sure. Be fine. Cool. Well,
what have you been playing, dude?
So, over Christmas, I picked up because I had like several days off over Christmas, just the way it fell. So I was like, oh, I've got an opportunity to play a game properly all the way through now. So I picked up the remake of System Shock. It came out May this year. I never played the original System Shock. I was a bit too young for System Shock. The original one came out in 1994. So I'd been 8 years old. So I missed the original System Shock. But they basically announced they're going to do a remake of it. System Shock went through a phase of like no one really knew who owned the licenses. There was like a fan remake started happening, and the fan remake then sort of got squashed when someone figured out who actually owned the license. But then that group of fans then went back and like acquired the rights to it, so they could make it properly. So this remake has been like rumbling on since I think like 2015, and it finally got released this year, like properly, I believe. So it's been quite a long time coming. And System Shock was considered at the time. I never played the original, but it's all considered very revolutionary in how it made other first persons work. So many first person shooters, the mechanics that System Shock devised turned up in other first person shooters. It's almost like devised certain standards that is still used today. because they basically had those not first person shooters with a just action focus. They actually had like a story mode in it. They had like a proper inventory in it and stuff. It's when you actually look at the list back of things it introduced, it's incredible really the stuff it added in.
Question: Was that originally released on that was a PC game back then?
That would have been a PC game, yeah, back in '94.
I think I might have played the original one.
Yeah, it was made by. It's surprising I never played it because it's made by Looking Glass Studios, who made one of my favourite game series. They made the Thief game series, which is probably my most favourite game series. One of my more favourite game series I've ever played. They made the first two Thief games. And they also made System Shock. I believe it used the same sort of engine. So the basic premise of System Shock is you are it's set in the year 2072, I believe. You are a hacker. And it's all cyberpunk sort of like environment. And you basically, you're sort of, what you do is you hack into big corporations and steal their secrets and sell them. And you hack into a corporation called Troy Optimum. And pretty much as soon as you do, your house gets raided and you get captured by Trioptimum security. They detect you and they capture you. And you get took to this space station called the Citadel Station, which is orbiting around Jupiter. And the guy there, called Diego, is the sort of like bad guy. And he basically says, right, you're trying to hack in and get this access, like this neural interface. Sort of cyborg upgrade. Pretty much everybody in the entire game is got some degree of cyborg upgradation. Most people have got implants, so that makes them slightly, they're sort of cyborgs really. And he's like, right, I could just kill you. However, you're very skilled. You do me a little favour, and I'll give you this upgrade, and I'll get it installed by our team, like on the space station. So you get actually people who know what they're doing installing it, rather than some, back-end doctor, someone who doesn't really know what they're doing, it's like black markets or shady doctor do it for you. We'll get it done properly for you. And you basically have no choice. He basically holds a gun to you. And what he wants you to do is he wants you to take off the station's security system is controlled by a computer called Shodan. And he basically wants you to remove her ethical subroutines. Because he basically wants to do some shady shit and he wants Shodan to not report him. Because she's an AI. And that's the intro to the game. You wake up 6 months later, and you wake up and you're on a deserted, you're in the medical bay, you come out of cryostasis, and everything's gone to shit. The space station's filled with like mutant monsters, there are just dead bodies everywhere, no one seems to be around anywhere at all. It's all gone to shit. And what's basically happened is Shodan, not having any ethical subroutines, has become an AI, has realised, hey, I feel like I should be a god. I am a god. These people should bow down to me. And she basically takes over the station and kills everybody. Or turns them into cyborgs. Or turns them into mutants. And your job basically, in the game, your job is basically to stop her. And what's basically interesting is the remake is very, again, so I base this on what I've read of other people who have played both. The remake is very faithful to the original, from what I've read. To the point, it's so like the maps are so much copying the original maps, you can actually almost get away with using a walkthrough for the original game to complete the remake. That accurate and that close in terms of the story plot points and storyline. And it's so well designed. So the space station you're on has got like sort of 10 levels, which you gradually work your way up for. And the game has no real... You can have objective markers. There's an option to have them switched on. But if you go for like the normal mode, there's no objective markers. In fact, the game doesn't really tell you to do anything. You basically wake up in the space station, and you'll very quickly learn that Shodan the space station's got like a big laser on it, which is used for mining. And you'll learn from you'll find like an audio log where it'll say she's charging up this laser and she's aiming it at Earth. And it's up to you to figure out how to disable it. There's no, as if you play like normal mode, there's no objectives to tell you how to do this. The only way you can find out is by searching the rooms, finding audio logs, which will tell you what to do, and then sort of like going between sort of different areas and working your way through the space station to disable it. So the laser, you can't just switch it off. You've got to like find, and it's very much like if you're not paying attention, you won't know what to do. You'll literally have no clue what way you should be going or what you should be doing. you have to literally sort of like read what it says and actually understand, listen to like the audio guides to tell you what to do and how to figure it out. So you feel like you have to discover the answer. Which is again, it's a very old school way to do things. There's nowadays you have a whole section in your menu which is full of objectives, and says you need to do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
I said you can have that switched on if you want. It's got the difficulties when you set up the game. The difficulty levels you basically can choose like different difficulty levels, like 6 different things. You can choose like general combat difficulty. You can choose like puzzle difficulty. You can choose like
that's really cool.
Yeah, well you can go to this bit where you go to cyberspace, and like and you can choose difficulty there. And what's interesting is actually how it changes. It's not like it just gets harder. Like cyberspace, normally when you fail a cyberspace mission, you lose a bit of health. On the highest difficulty, if you fail a cyberspace mission, you die. You're just dead.
Game over, man.
Yeah. You basically can unlock these like respawn points. They're basically like have you ever played BioShock?
I think I played like half an hour of the first one.
Oh, okay.
I really want to go through those actually at some point.
Well, BioShock, the reason is that they're basically a derivative of a System Shock. They're a bit more simplified, but they are, the reason they've got shock in the name is because they are sort of similar idea. But you have like these chambers that basically, if you die, you respawn at. But on the hardest difficult level, they don't work. And combat is quite tough. You basically, your character has no sort of like levels or anything like that. He just basically you'll find monsters later on that can literally wipe you out in like 3 shots. You can get like upgrades and upgrades that make you better, like a shield or something like that, which protects you a bit, but don't properly protect you fully. So yeah, you basically have to work out what to do to defeat this. So you just, and each level is 10 levels. They're huge. It took me like just to do the first like level took me like 2 hours, and just like exploring, going round and so forth, just to find out how to get through and so forth. But that doesn't solve the problem. You've got to go like back. There's quite a bit of backtracking in places because you have to go like to different levels to unlock things and come back and so forth. It's not too bad. But it's got
you said they copied everything from the original, yeah?
The level design the levels are virtually from the original, same like for like. Like I say, apparently
that's awesome.
Apparently if you get a walkthrough for the original game, it'll work on the remake. Apparently,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's really close to the original game. They've tried to keep it as close as possible.
Yeah.
So
they kind of have to though. Yeah. Like because if you make a game like a remake like that, you want the diehard fans of the original game to love this game, and if you start changing things too much around, people are gonna hate it.
Yeah, it also looks. They've chosen the sort of like art style. The sort of style they chose. They've tried to make it look a bit old school, so it looks like. You know how like in old school games, like sort of like early 2000 games and stuff, like sort of PS2 era games. If you went up to like a computer on the wall, you could see like individual pixels representing lights on the computer switching on and off. You could sort of, they're very blocky. You could see them.
Oh yeah,
this is like that. All the sort of yeah, it looks like that. It looks really old school, but it's got like modern lighting systems in it and stuff. So it's stylized basically. Stylized I mean, it looks really beautiful, but also really old school at the same time.
I have to try this.
Yeah. Combat is quite tricky. So basically, you basically have 2 main sort of weapons. You can have like normal like gun weapons. So basically you also have like energy weapons. So energy weapons, you have like a health bar, you have an energy bar. Energy bars use to power all your augments you pick up as the game goes on. But energy weapons will also use that as their full like ammo source. So you can pick up an energy weapon really early on, and usually you can change like how much damage you can like switch between different like fire modes on them. And if the higher fire modes could like obliterate your energy supply really quickly, and you might need that to get places. You might need it to get into areas and stuff. Like for example, you pick up a radiation shield later on. If you ain't got no energy, you can't switch it on, and you'll just go in areas that will just kill you in seconds. It's really old school, and what's great is it just keeps on going. So if you defeat the laser, Shonen has another plan. And she tells you this is what I'm going to do, and then it's up to you to figure out how to sort it out. And you complete that one. Then she's another plan, and all in all, let me have a look at my play time on that, because let's see what time I took on this. So this is my first game through, and I tend to explore a lot with games. I don't, I take my time. I like to explore them out. So my first playthrough, from start to finish, took me 34 hours. So it's a decent sized game. Now, if you play on the hardest difficulty level, one of the things you play on the hardest difficulty level puts a timer on the game of 10 hours. You have 10 hours to complete the game. Otherwise, she wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like that. That.
It's apparently, from what I've said, apparently it's possible. If you know what you're doing, you know where you're going, it's possible to complete the game in about 7 hours. If you know exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
And you basically bypass all the sort of side. There's not really side missions per stuff, but you'll come across like someone will reference something, or there's I locked something in the room over here, and you can go back and find it. But there are lots of parts of the game where, like, if you're not paying attention, you'll like there'll be like a random dialogue box which will happen to mention a code for a room that's like two levels above you, and if you don't remember it, you'll never get through it. There were a couple times where I had to look up a guide just to remind myself what I'm meant to be doing. But in general, you can explore your way through this game. You'll find through. It is such a well done remake. From what I've said, people say it's such a well done remake. They've even brought back the original voice actor from Showdown from 1994 and brought her back to re-voice the character in this game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
They really you can tell the people who made it was a proper labour of love.
Yeah.
Just to sit, but it's amazing how old school it feels. Like when you actually do your inventory, the game doesn't pause. Your inventory is a grid-based inventory, and you can like move stuff around, shuffle stuff around. But you'll be like in game when you're doing it, so you could get attacked and killed fairly quickly if you're not careful. And you will get killed. You will die a lot in this game. You will just die a lot because the enemies are quite tough. To try it. It is real. It's really old school, and it is really fun. I was so pleased to pick it up and sort of like fight my way through. And the final sort of boss battle, sort of boss area, because the final boss was actually quite easy, but sort of before you get there, it's like that took me so many attempts because you're just like, okay, I'm constantly up against it. There are parts of the game where, like, at a certain stage where the revival things stop working, so you can't revive. If you die, you die. And there are some combos that break the game. They have rebalanced things a bit for it. And there's a weapon you get about a third of the way through called the Laser Rapier, which is a laser sword, basically. It uses your energy because rapier is a type of sword.
All right.
And this uses energy from your energy pool. But there's also an upgrade. You basically have, so your health works in the game. You can either you use a health pack that gives you all your health back instantly, or you can do these little patches that you sort of like stick on that give you health back over time. There's also very few sort of spread over the map. There's like some like health stations you can go to which will completely revitalize your health. But there's like 4 in the entire game.
Okay.
But if there's other patches that will like improve your reflexes times and to slow down. There's one called the Berserk patch that basically really overpowers your ability to attack and stuff. If you use that, with the laser rapier, you're basically an unstoppable killing machine, and pretty much all the bosses.
God mode.
It is if all the bosses, if you use that, you'll pretty much defeat them in like a few seconds. All of them.
Okay.
But I like games. I like games that reward you for like, okay, you found a way around it. Good on you. Well done. Enjoy.
Yeah.
It's a very. There's a lot of puzzle. It's quite a lot of puzzling in it. It's got like when you go to you'll count like these sort of like electrical panels that have like there'll be like a path of electricity you have to like reflow. A bit like Pipe Mania. If you ever played Pipe Mania, you have to basically reflow the pass round to like bypass things. I was very impressed with it. Not having played the original, it's made me curious to go back and play the original game, just to see how close it is. But it is so well done. It looks really pretty. It came out sort of like it came out May this year, So it's
Okay.
really new, but it's just oh, it's just beautiful. I really enjoyed it. I was like one of those games where I was just playing for like 8-10 hours a day
Yeah.
just to get through it. So I just wanted to, I just didn't want to, and I was like, when you go away from a game and then come immediately back to it later on all you think about is going back and fighting it again. Yeah, it's really cool.
You mean May last year, yeah?
Yeah, May last year, yeah. Oh yeah, it's 2024 now, isn't it?
Yeah. Otherwise, you kind of got access to a game that's not come out
I
yet.
got I got the beta access, mate. No,
Press
honestly,
pass.
yeah, press pass, maybe. No, but it's So if you like old school soul, what I like about it is that it just feels like an old school game. It just feels like so old school and old fashioned. It just feels nice to have those sort of like, because I think we forget actually how much we've been taught now by games to by the way, here's your objective marker, here's where you need to go, here's your map. Don't forget your little button that presses focus modes that highlights all the things you need to interact with, all that sort of stuff. How many crutches that modern games have for us.
I don't so much mind that in games as long as it doesn't become a cakewalk. Like if you have the objective markers, at least make the rest of the game hard. Like the objective, fine, it's there, but it's hard to get there.
Yeah, this game is hard, but doesn't have the objective markers either.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, see, and that's the thing. There's no need to change. Like, I get the fact that this is like a fan that's made the game for fans of the game.
Yeah.
So therefore, you can't change a hell of a lot of things. But in many ways, there's no need to change things.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. To give you a clue, some of the sort of puzzles in it, which are quite common. There's actually a bit in it where you have to play a chess match, and you play against an actual chess AI in the game. I don't know if it's their program or they've got from somewhere else. The chess AI is pretty competent. Now I'm not great. I'm not a great chess player by any means. But I'm probably. If I went up to someone who plays semi-seriously, I would definitely lose. But I'm probably better than the average person, as in like non-chess player person who's only like played it a bit. I'm definitely not I'm not anywhere near like a competitive level. But that
but you have the capacity to like be a little bit tactical.
Yeah. I can think ahead a little bit on the AIs. I can sort of think about sort of tramp pieces and that sort of stuff. And yeah, I had great fun. I had played against a chess bar. I actually had to really think about it while I was doing, because it was like okay, and that is optional. You don't have to do that, but it unlocks like a really useful upgrade if you do. Mm-hmm. So playing that I think I probably spent like half an hour on that chess match to make sure I didn't.
Oh, nice.
I was very conservative. I played very conservatively to make sure I didn't play it again. But and it does things as well, like randomized. So it'll randomize like all the codes, apart from ones in audio logs, all the codes you'll encounter be randomized as well. So you can't like look at a walkthrough form. You just have to like follow. You have to sort it out yourself. Yeah, it's neat. It's really really neat. Wholeheartedly recommend System Shock.
I might actually have to give that a go.
Yeah, it
seems like something I would play.
If you like old school FPS games, you'll like this.
Yeah.
It is very very neat. Cool. Right, Zaber, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we sort of wrap up today?
No, I think that's it. Really, it's been like it's that one game. Well, I've been playing it like smaller games, like competitive. Like, actually, there's a game that we might have to look into again.
All right.
I think it's been played. I think you, Skaz, and me had one game night where we played it, and I think you and Skaz had one as well. But it's the game called Golf It.
Yes, I think me and Skaz, we actually we pretty much played through that.
And I can't remember if you were in it when I played, or if it was just you, or if it was just me and Skaz that played it as well.
I can't remember Golf It, but there's one called There's Golf with Your Friends as well, which one of us played.
Yeah, that one ain't as good, because the thing that's cool about Golf It is there's so many like levels or courses or whatever you call it, because people make their own. There's actually in the game an editor. You can make your own levels, and then they become public, and then people vote on them, and blah blah blah. There's so many levels. But the cool thing about the game is, and I didn't know this until I started playing it again, that's you can play that in VR now.
Oh,
you can play it in
really?
VR. Yeah, you can. So we might have to look into that, and try that. And with there being so many levels to choose from, there's like infinite content to be played through almost. Like it's yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, well, I'm not for giving that. If there's a VR mode, I'm not for giving it a go.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been playing it in VR mode. I haven't tried it yet. I don't know if it's actually good, but it says it's VR compatible now. So when you launch the game in Steam, it says, do you want to just launch the game, or on DirectX 10, or in VR, or whatever,
Yeah.
So yeah, we might have to look into that. But I've been playing that a hell of a lot over the last week here. It's been good. It's been good.
Oh,
I like mini golf games. I like golf in general.
He likes mini golf games. Good. Oh
Yes.
yeah, I'm up for giving that a go.
All right, cool.
We'll add it to the list.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Anything else before we wrap up?
No, I think that's it. That's it.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching this evening. If you enjoyed this, you can check out our next podcast in a fortnight's time on the 18th of January. Here on either youtube.com/randnerds or twitch.tv/randnerds. You guys can check out the website randnerds.com. That'll have all the details on there, because I'm now going to start putting announcement pages in advance of podcasts. You'll better check out there. I'll have all the links to all the various places to look. You can check out our games night. So we finish our last game for the King, which will be up on the YouTube channel in the next sort of week or two, the last sort of like bits, and you can see how well we get on finishing the first campaign off. And we'll be starting a new game, Teeny Tiny Wonderlands. You can check that out on our next games night, which will be on the 17th of January at 8:30 GMT. You can check out, well, at the moment it's on my Twitch stream, but we'll eventually move that over to Rand Nerd's Twitch stream. But that time at the moment is twitch.tv/TheSuffolkRam, but that'll eventually move to Rand Nerd's Twitch stream.
Yes.
So, once again, guys, thank you very much for checking out this evening. Thank you very much for being here this evening. I hope you've learned a lot about Denmark versus UK. And we'll see you guys all in a fortnight. So, for me, TheSuffolkRam,
Zabermoul.
we'll see you guys in a fortnight.
Take it easy.